Welcome back to Sunrise with Sheeta. Sheeta, Las Vegas. I don't know. Anyway. September is Suicide Awareness Month. I put the trigger at the beginning, trigger warning, because we are going to talk about suicide. Well, I am. I was 13 when I first attempted to take my life. I woke up, I had been battling with some things, and I woke up one morning and I decided that enough was enough, and I was done. I was tired, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around my whole world changing. So I woke up, waited for everybody to leave the house, and I went and took some pills, and I drank a bunch of NyQuil. I laid there and waited for something to happen, and nothing was happening. So I waited till my sister came home, and I took some more pills, and then I went in my room and attempted to strangle myself because I wanted to speed up the process. At some point, my sister came to the back and she fought with me to loosen up the belt that was around my neck. I had been trying to get in contact with a young lady that was going through the exact same thing as me for a couple of weeks, and I couldn't get any answer. And just in that moment, the phone rang, and I remember my sister going to get the phone, and she brought it back and made me talk to this young lady. As the young lady began to talk, she encouraged me and gave me some great words. She was more wise in this area than I was. And so as she talked, I began to regain some hope. And I was able to listen to her because she was coming to me sincerely. I began to become suicidal again at the age of 23. I was battling with depression, situational depression, due to a change in my life again. I became immobile. I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't even get up and use the restroom by myself. So I had went from a young independent young lady to having to depend on everybody for something, and that was just a hard concept for me. So I fell into depression and I began to have suicidal thoughts. So this time I reached out. That's when 2 police officers showed up at my door, and they sat with me and they began to explain the book of Job to me in the Bible. They began to talk about how sometimes this life isn't ours, how sometimes we aren't just living for us. And I asked the question, but I'm tired of living for everybody else. So what now? Just before I went to the emergency room, the phone rang again. It was my best friend. She called and she asked me if I was okay, and I told her, no, I'm not okay. I began to cry because I already knew the pain that I would hear in her voice when I told her why I was going back to the ER, and it was because I didn't want to live anymore, but I knew I needed help. So I told her, and I could hear it in her voice. And in that moment, that was enough. That was enough for me to hold on and to keep fighting. I can't stand talking on the phone, y'all. And I think it's just amazing that in both of my situations, God used the telephone to save my life. He used people that were around me, that cared about me, to help save my life, to make me want to live. But what I recognize is that that is my situation, that's my story, and I own my story. And that's not the case for everybody else. I know people that have lost people to suicide. I know that people are battling with it right now, and it doesn't look like the way mine did. Depression and mental diagnoses are a thing. They're real, and people are battling demons that we can't see every single day. But I think about the people that were around me, and I think about if they would have hesitated to say the words that they said to me, who knows what would have happened. And so I hear a lot, like, I even myself, I will be thinking of somebody or want to say something to somebody and I won't do it. but I never know what those words could do for somebody else. So I really do hope that, especially with quarantine, I hope that people, including myself, I hope that we learn to say the words that are on our minds, especially when it is about people that we care about. I hope that we will give people their flowers while they're still on this earth and not wait till we can't see them anymore. We just never know. We never know what tomorrow will bring. And I hope that if you know someone or you are someone struggling with suicidal thoughts, depression, any of it, that you would reach out and get help. Tell somebody. And hopefully that somebody will tell another somebody. I recognize that everybody doesn't experience these the same way I did. But I know that there's hope out there. I know that there is help out there. I remember after my second bout with suicidal thoughts, the doctors told me that I didn't have much time to live. And that upset me so much because I didn't want anybody thinking that they had control or could predict when I was going to leave this earth. And then it registered with me that at one point I thought the same. I thought that I was the one who determined when I left this earth. And if I was, I would have missed so many things. I would have missed forming the greatest relationships with some of the greatest students that I've ever had. I would have missed this moment. I would have missed going to get my master's. I would have missed just moments with my family. I would have missed my favorite little cousin's 16th birthday. And I can't imagine that right now. And so if it's not you, if you are not enough to keep pressing on, I hope that you can find that something or someone to pull you through until it is. Whether that be a rock, a hamster, a cat, a dog, a friend, a family member, whatever it is, find it, hold on to it, and let them know that you need them. I need the church to stop talking about suicide as if it is the greatest sin. Because I know for me in those moments, I was praying to God to take these thoughts away. Take this away from me. I didn't have any malicious intent. I just wanted to stop hurting. We never know what people's last thoughts are before it comes to this or while they're in this. And that's not your job. Your job is to love. Your job is to care. Your job is to support, to become more selfless, and to press in when somebody talks about suicide and not shy away. It's a heavy topic, but if someone is reaching out and saying something about it, that's not time to run. So I hope that if you are someone who knows someone, or you are that someone struggling with suicide, that you would seek the resources and seek the help. I'm actually going to leave some at the end of this video and in the comments. I am grateful for every single sunrise that I get to see, even though I'm not a morning person. Ooh, I can't stand waking up early. But I do. And I get to see that sunrise. And it's a signal to me that I still have a lot more life to live. I still have that day to live. And sometimes that's all I can do. If you have children, talk to them. If you know children, talk to them. If you're around children, talk to them. There's a lot of kids going through this life, experiencing adult things and adult situations and changes, and they have no one to support them, no one to talk to. So if you are around kids, if you know anybody with kids, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to them. They want the help. They want the support. They're yearning for it. But I hope that we can love on each other a little bit more and hug each other a little bit tighter and maybe watch the sunrise together. I love y'all. Be safe.